Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday, and I'm late by about 4.5 hours for my sketch challenge today. But on, let's see, what are we? The second Tuesday of each month, I go to the Spinners and Weavers Guild close by to me. And so that meeting was today. And so I've said this before, sketch challenges are I think, my favorite live to do, my favorite challenge to do. And so I don't like to miss out on doing them. So that's why I pushed it out to 6:30 because I wasn't sure what time I was going to get home. So I did post the sketch a little earlier. It went live at 2:30, which is when it normally goes live. So you may have seen the sketch that I'm going to play with tonight. But that's okay, because you just had a sneak peek at it and you can play along. And don't forget to post your cards on my Facebook group. Hey, Deborah, welcome. Hey, Catherine. So if you're part of my Facebook group, share your cards and your projects that you're making. It doesn't have to be this sketch. It could be any project that you're working on. I love to see what you're playing with these days. So let's get started. Let's see, I'm going to switch over. All right, so this is the sketch. So it's a 5.5 by 8.5 inch base, and then with a normal 4 inch by 5.25 inch first layer. Layer 2, which is the blue layer, is about 2.5 by 4. And then for layer 3, I use this banner shape, but hey, Marjorie, it can be any shape you want, just so long as it's kind of smaller than layer 2, so you can see it. And then for the sentiment, I said 1/2 inch by 2 inches, but I'm going to cheat on that because my sentiment that I'm using is not even going to fit on that. It's going to have to go on a square. So make your sentiment layer whatever size you need for your sentiment. Hey, Denise. Okay, so that's the sketch. It's already gone live on my Facebook group page and on Instagram, so you can grab these measurements. Oh my gosh, Pam, sorry, you're still in a storm. I saw some of the pictures of the snow. Crazy. All right, let me show you what I'm going to use. I think the Everyday Details bundle is one of the, what shall I call it? I think it's an underestimated. It's kind of a missed bundle. I absolutely love it. Look at these dies. So you have some. I'm in such a mess. You have these circle dies with little dots or circles around them. So this one cuts two. Actually, this one cuts. What did I cut with this one? Okay, so here's what I cut. This one die has two, it's like stitching, 2 rows of circles. So if you cut it out, you get one smaller circle with dots, and then you get dots left on a piece of paper. But I used the larger one and created a frame. So when I laid these two onto crumb cake, I ended up with 2 pieces. Look at this fun one with the frame made out of, with the little dots around it. So these are really cool. Same as this one. I actually cut this, I think it was something like 2 5/8 or 2 3/4 by 4 and a little bit. And I ended up using, if I use these 2 frames, I ended up with, oh no, actually I didn't, sorry. I just cut a piece and then I ended up with a frame in gorgeous crepe. These dies are absolutely amazing. And like I said, I think people are missing this particular bundle in the catalog. It is only a bundle. There is no suite that goes with it. I have used this one before. I love these crisscross ones that you can create borders with. So it's really fun. It's called Everyday Details. And look at these images and sentiments. This nest is my favorite. Not sure which one I'm going to use today. There's the nest, the teacup, and the flowers. They're at 95%, so they actually are bigger. Oh, 15 inches. Oh my gosh. That's just way too much snow, Pam. There are no dies that cut these images out. So that is one thing to note. Lots of great dies that you can use standalone, but not specific dies that will cut these images. Okay, so let's put this away. and then bring in what I've got cut out to use today. So I'm in a gorgeous grape mood. I'm not usually, gorgeous grape doesn't call my name, but with the perennial lavender suite, it has been calling my name fairly often these days. And in fact, I'm using the designer series paper, the perennial lavender designer series paper. So this piece is 5.5 by 8.5. And I've scored it at 4 1/4. So as always, I'm going to use my bone folder, fold into the mountain or the raised line. And then I love, look at this paper. I'm not using this, but this is one. Hey, oh, I'm glad. My goodness, Pam, good for you for notifying Betty. I don't know why, Betty, you must maybe have your notifications turned off or something, but because I got one. YouTube emails me directly. Okay, so look at this gorgeous paper. This is the perennial lavender paper. I love the combination of crumb cake and gorgeous grape. So this is going to be my first layer, which is, so this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. If you're not into imperial, basically it's a half of a sheet of your cardstock and then a 1/4 sheet. So this would be your regular first layer. So 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters for this one. Trying to be better at my metric. Okay, so this is the piece that I'm going to use for my, what I said was 2.5, and I should have poked all these little dots out before. If you run your dies through a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times when you're cutting them out, all these little dots, I get them all over the place, you will find that these dots just fall out. But of course, I didn't do that. So we will just take the time. You don't have to poke them all out. Some of them are actually probably going to be covered up. But all right. So this ended up being, let's see, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So a little bit smaller, but I could use this frame around it if I wanted to. So maybe I will do that. So there's the frame. That makes it just a little bit bigger than what I said. And of course, now I got all these little bits, little dots. Poke, 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 poke. I do have my my brush end that fits onto the take your pick tool. And then oh, that's weird. I don't know. I have the brush that fits onto the take your pick tool that I could use. But yeah, one of these days I'll get better at, who am I kidding? I probably won't get better at poking these out in advance. Oh, there we go. All right. So I think I am going to use that. I don't think I'm going to pop it up, but I think I like the look of the double frame. Okay, so then I also cut out, now I've got some crumb cake holes to poke out. Oh, talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. So this is part of the shape that I'm going to use that is smaller. So I said any shape, basically. So my shape is going to be this circle with the border of all these little dots. There we go. All right, so that's going to be my circle. And then I'm going to stamp, maybe I'm going to put that over there like that. I'm going to stamp something to put on top of that, and a sentiment. Yeah, you do have to be a little bit careful with that brush end and tearing, especially if you're using a really delicate if your die cut is really delicate. I tend not to use it if that's the case. All right, so I'm going to just glue this down, hopefully in the middle, roughly in the middle. Isn't that gorgeous color combination? Crumb cake and gorgeous grape. Now, I could have called, as I say this every time I do this, I could have used adhesive sheets to cut this with, but I'm not. I'm just going to take and put a little bit of glue. And my border frame isn't exactly lined up evenly, but we will put this way, and then I might cover up part of that. There we go. All right, so there we go. That's, I got fingers. Okay, so I'm going to put that on there like that in a minute. So I do have, I'm going to do some stamping. Tuxedo black. All right, so you guys can help me. What image do you think I should use? I will get some blends and you guys can type in what image you think I should use. I'm going to just grab some blends in advance of it. Who has a thought about what image? Should I stamp the flowers, the teacup, or the nest? The teacup. Betty says the teacup. That was what I was leaning to. Anybody else have thoughts? All right, Betty, you were quick. Oh, Catherine says teacup too. Okay, teacup it is. So I'm going to stamp this in tuxedo black. This teacup is so cute. Look at that. All right, there is no gorgeous grape blends. Maybe there should be, but I have grabbed orchid. Let's see. No, I have grabbed Orchid Oasis, but I think I want not that. I think I want Highland Heather. I thought that's what I'd grabbed. Yes, wouldn't this be a great, very pretty Mother's Day card? Okay, so I'm going to do my teacup in light. Ooh, definitely pinkier than I was thinking. Highland Heather. I always think Highland Heather should be more purpley than it is actually, but that's okay. Maybe we will add some Orchid Oasis onto this. I think I was saying this the other day. You don't always, when you're using blends, you don't always have to color with the same. So this is the light. I don't always have to use the dark of the Highland Heather to do my blending. I could do, in this case, I think I'm going to do Orchid Oasis. I am going to do the dark in the kind of the center here, in the inside of my cup. But I think I'm going to use, this is the light Orchid Oasis. So we'll kind of combine these two because this is definitely more purple. It's kind of what I was thinking. And some of the teacups I have kind of very different colors on them, which is really pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to add some. And then I'm going to go back over it with, Fresh Freezer probably would have worked too. I'm going to go back over with my Highland Heather. Excuse me. Just to kind of blend it just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I think that's a very pretty teacup. All right, so then I'm going to do my center of my flower in the Highland Heather. And I think I'm going to bring in Daffodil Delight for my this is dark Daffodil Delight, which is okay. Just as a pop of color. Almost looks like a pansy. So we'll do the lines on it in purple. And it definitely will have a pansy look to it. There. All right, and then I've got Old Olive for my leaves. Ooh, that's very pretty. Okay, we're just going to add a little bit here. Okay. All right, now, as I said, there are no dies, unfortunately, for these images in this. So that's okay. You know me, I like to fussy cut. So, and I'm just going to kind of go around it. So I could have done it on one of these circles and then use the die to cut it out, which would have worked fine. But since I was kind of liking the look of the crumb cake, we will just quickly do a fussy cut of this. Just kind of following it, steering with my hand that's holding the paper. Doesn't take too long. So if you don't like this, use one of the dies that comes with this to cut out. Or another die. All right, there we go. Ooh, very pretty. Very pretty. Okay. So we're going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to put that kind of there. And I am going to use dimensionals on this circle. You can go like that. Try to get it straight. There we go. All right, so I do need a sentiment, and I know my sentiment, what I was thinking of the 1/2 inch isn't going to work. So I've got some linen thread here. So let's just, I'm going to just wrap it around my fingers about 3 or 4 times, cut it off, and then hold the 2 ends in one hand, and then pinch the middles together. And I usually just use a little bit of Stampin' Seal just to kind of hold that in place. And now I need my gorgeous grape. And I'm going to use this one because I need a birthday card. So this is the sentiment that says, wishing you so much joy on this special day. Could be a wedding card. It could be a birthday card. It could be all sorts of things, but I'm going to use a birthday card. So, and while I have got my ink out, I've got a piece of basic white for the inside. There is this little image of little, kind of hard to tell, little kind of crosses. Well, they're kind of little dots. So I'm just going to take and stamp those down in this corner like that. Ah, don't do that. Let's turn it over and try that again. I knew I was touching something. There we go. Let's try not to get ink on your fingers. Like that. Okay. Let that dry. Okay, so got that. Now I just have to cut this out. So if you, like I said, if you prefer to not fussy cut, then cut a rectangle or a square for your your sentiment. I'm just kind of cutting around, and I realized it's not very straight. So we'll try and do it a little bit straighter. There we go. So we're just going to put that on top like that. Can't find the dimensionals I had. Those will work. Okay. Oh no, yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I always try and close up my glue or my ink quickly, because I'm so bad at putting my fingers in the ink. Okay, the last thing I want on my card is these are the Purple Fine Shimmer gems. I have my lid for my glue, but not my glue. Okay, so I need to glue that on, and then I'm going to take and put some of these on to my card. They're so pretty. They come in berry burst and then 2 shades of the purple. They are part of the Painted Lavender Suite. Like that. And then the last thing I need to do, yeah, at least it wasn't attached. Yeah, that's probably what embellishments are for, although that was kind of a big splodge there. Or you can always cut another piece and put it over top. That's why I try not to adhere anything until I've done my stamping, because something always happens. Anyway. All right, where did my sketch go? The sketch is here. They are really pretty, Catherine. These little purple ones, they are so, so pretty. That whole suite. I think I need another dimensional underneath that. It's popping up here on this edge. Oh, I do have one. I think it's because I've got my linen thread. There we go. That'll hold it down. There we go. All right. Thank you. So it's a little, well, I guess it's not. The only thing that's really different about this is my sentiment layer is it had to be bigger because of the sentiment. But it's similar. I have a square and I have a shape. And I guess I followed the sketch. So there we go. I absolutely love this Everyday Details bundle, and I think it's overlooked. You may not have noticed it, but it's just so pretty, kind of eclectic in its images, but the dies are absolutely amazing. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me and staying with me tonight, given that I am later than normal. I will be live tomorrow at my regular time, which is 2 o'clock Pacific, and I will be making a fun fold. So come join me and check that out. Thursday, I'll be live at 2 Pacific again. Oh, that's why I below it, Betty. I said any shape. It's kind of hard to put. Yeah, I just wanted you to use any shape there. So that's anything you want is perfect. Thursday will be a mystery challenge, and I have a color challenge for you. So come join me on Thursday as well. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.